Hey there, neighbor. Good to see you again. Let me ask you something simple. Has this ever happened to you? You're making dinner, trimming vegetables, and before you know it, there's a small pile of scraps on the cutting board, things you toss without a second thought. But here's the funny part. Some of those scraps aren't done living yet. In fact, a surprising number of vegetables will grow right back, even stronger, from the exact pieces most people throw away. A pineapple top, the base of a romaine, a tired piece of ginger, even the bottom of a bunch of bok choy. You're not just looking at kitchen scraps. You're looking at the beginning of a garden that refills itself over and over again. And today, I'm going to show you 10 vegetables you've probably been throwing away, but can actually regrow endlessly. All right then, neighbor, let's jump right in. Let's kick things off with vegetable number 1, something tropical, tough, and surprisingly easy to regrow: pineapple tops. Most folks slice them off and toss them out, but that spiky crown is still very much alive. All you need to do is cut the top with about an inch of fruit attached, let it dry for a day, and place it over a glass of water or straight into soil. Within a couple of weeks, new roots begin reaching downward while a fresh burst of leaves rises from the center. It's like watching a plant come back to life right in your home. Pineapple tops grow slowly, but they reward patience. In warm climates, they thrive outdoors year-round. In cooler places, they make beautiful container plants that move indoors for winter. And if you stick with it long enough, that crown you rescued from the trash can eventually grow a full pineapple. A completely new fruit born from something you almost threw away. For older gardeners like me, this one's a joy. No bending, no digging. Just a windowsill, a little water, and a front row seat to one of the most satisfying regrowth miracles in gardening. All right, let's move on to something almost everyone has in their kitchen: fresh herbs. Those little bundles of basil, mint, oregano, or rosemary that you buy for one recipe and forget about afterward. Well, here's the secret. Every single stem can become a brand new plant. Take a young cutting, trim the lower leaves, and set the stem in a glass of water. That's it. Within a few days, tiny white roots start forming along the nodes. Give it a week or two, and you'll have a full, healthy root system ready for soil. And once the plant takes off, it keeps multiplying. The more you trim, the more it grows, offering endless cuttings and endless harvests. For older gardeners, this is one of the easiest ways to build a long-lasting herb garden without bending, digging, or spending money. A single grocery store sprig can turn into a lifetime supply of flavor, all from something most people would toss without thinking. It's time for vegetable number 3, sweet potato and potato slips. These humble kitchen staples can regrow into some of the most productive crops you'll ever grow. A single sweet potato can produce 10 to 20 slips. Just place it in water, wait for the shoots to appear, twist them off, and root them again. Each slip becomes a sprawling vine that produces several large sweet potatoes in one season. Regular potatoes are even simpler. That sprouted potato sitting in your pantry? Cut it into pieces, making sure each has one eye. Let them dry for a day, and plant. Each piece becomes a plant that yields handfuls of new potatoes. For older gardeners, the magic is this: both crops can be grown in raised beds, buckets, or grow bags, meaning less bending and easier harvests. And once you start growing them, you'll never want store-bought potatoes again. Now let's move on to vegetable number 4, carrot seeds collected from wild plants, often called Queen Anne's lace. These tall white flowers you see along roadsides, they're actually the ancestors of modern carrots, and they hold hundreds of free seeds. When the flower heads dry and curl inward, they're packed with seeds ready to harvest. Just pinch them off, crumble them in your hands, and you'll have enough seeds to grow dozens of carrots. Or if you already grow carrots at home, you can simply let a few plants bolt and go to seed. They'll scatter naturally and surprise you next year with volunteer carrots popping up everywhere. This method is wonderful for seniors. No need to buy seed packets, no need for precision planting. Nature does the hard part. You simply enjoy the harvest. Sliding right into vegetable number 5, let's talk about something so simple it almost feels like cheating. Green onions. You buy them once, chop off the greens, and without even trying, the white bases start growing right back. Place the roots in a small glass of water, and within days the tops shoot upward like little green rockets. You can snip them 3 or 4 times before they need soil. But here's the real magic. Once planted, they'll grow into full-size onions that eventually produce flowers. And those flowers carry dozens of seeds. Leave them alone long enough, and you'll have green onions popping up across your garden year after year. No replanting required. For seniors, the setup is perfect. Countertop regrowth, minimal bending, and a harvest that practically grows itself. Let's keep this rolling with vegetable number 6. Garlic cloves. One bulb from the grocery store isn't just a bulb, it's a bundle of 8 to 12 separate plants waiting to grow. All you have to do is break apart the cloves, place each one in soil with the pointed end up, and give it a little time. Garlic practically grows itself. After a few months, each clove becomes a full bulb with fresh cloves of its own, ready to repeat the cycle. It's one of the best garden investments you can make. Plant one, harvest many. And for gardeners who don't want heavy labor, garlic is a blessing. Minimal watering, almost no bending once planted, and an easy harvest that requires nothing more than loosening the soil and lifting the bulb. Now, let's move to vegetable number 7. Bok choy bottoms, one of the quickest vegetables to regrow from scraps. When you slice the base off a bunch of bok choy, don't toss it. That little stump still holds a lot of life. Place the base in a shallow dish of water, and within a few days, new leaves begin unfurling from the center. Give it a week, and you'll see tiny roots forming underneath. At that point, move it to soil and watch it explode into a leafy, tender plant, perfect for stir-fries and soups. This is a top pick for seniors because it starts right at countertop height and grows fast. No waiting months. You can harvest young leaves in just a couple of weeks. Little effort, lots of reward. Let's keep the momentum going with vegetable number 8, ginger. That knobby piece sitting in your kitchen drawer might look tired, but if it has even one small bud, an eye, it can grow into a whole new plant. To regrow it, cut the ginger into chunks with at least one eye each. Let the pieces dry for a day, then plant them just beneath the soil surface. Ginger grows slowly but steadily, sending shoots upward, while new roots form underground. Over time, each piece multiplies into a fresh cluster of fragrant, golden rhizomes. This is a fantastic crop for seniors. It thrives in containers, needs very little maintenance, and can be harvested by simply digging around the edges of the pot. One small piece can turn into months of flavor. Now, let's shift to vegetable number 9. Romaine lettuce stumps, one of the fastest and most satisfying vegetables to regrow. After you slice off the top for salad, you're left with a pale stump, which is actually ready to grow again. Place the stump in a shallow dish of water, and within 2 or 3 days, you'll see a fresh burst of green leaves pushing upward. After about a week, small roots appear underneath. Move it to soil, and it'll grow into a leafy mini romaine perfect for sandwiches, salads, and wraps. This is ideal for seniors. The whole process can start right on the countertop, and young leaves can be harvested within a couple of weeks. Fast results, no bending, zero effort. And here we are, our final vegetable of the list. And it might just be the most overlooked one of all: dried beans. That bag of black beans, chickpeas, lentils, or split peas sitting quietly in your pantry isn't just food. It's a hidden stash of hundreds of ready-to-grow seeds. Soak them overnight, plant them the next day, and they'll sprout into vigorous plants that produce dozens of pods. Each pod carries multiple beans, which means a small handful of dried beans can turn into months of fresh harvest. For seniors, this last crop is a true gift. No delicate handling, no tricky transplanting. Just scatter, cover, water, and let nature handle the rest. A simple ending to a list full of surprisingly easy wins. Well, neighbor, that wraps up our list. 10 vegetables that never stop giving, even when you think they're done. It still amazes me how much food can grow from what most folks throw away without a second thought. If you've tried regrowing any of these scraps yourself, I'd love to hear how it went. Drop your experience in the comments. Your story might help someone else start their own little kitchen-to-garden journey. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit like, subscribe, and share it with another gardener who'd appreciate a few easy wins. Until next time, keep growing smart, keep growing simple, and I'll see you in the next one.